So welcome everyone to the weekly LPN podcast. Hopefully gonna come up with a name soon. Had a few ideas. I actually wrote down the LPodcast'N thing and had a look at what it looked like. So it seemed okay. So I am Xavier. I studied history at the Uni of Manchester last year and then started working for the Library Peer Network in October. So each week we're going to have a different theme. Last week, if anyone listened, was about exams, just kind of the experiences that a couple of our student team members have had with exams and how to revise for exams, that kind of thing, especially at the Uni of Manchester. This week, kind of in line and on topic with the things that students are going through at the moment, we're going to be talking about studying from home with COVID, how people have dealt with studying from home during lockdown. And to do that, we're joined by three new student team members who have only recently started working for the student team and the LPN as well. Do you three want to introduce yourselves, just a little bit about what you study and how you started working for the student team as well?
Hi, my name is Salma, and like you said, I'm new to the student team, and I'm super excited to be a part of this wonderful team. I'm a second year student, and I study international relations and politics. So I have a lot of opinions, and I can't wait to share them.
Nice.
Hi, I'm Rachel. I am currently a master's sociology student part-time, and I've been at the university for a while now because I studied fashion buying and merchandising and graduated in 2019 as well.
Yeah.
And last year I was also doing an internship with the Manchester Graduate Talent Team, so I feel like a bit of an oldie now.
Yeah, sure.
Hi, I'm Nuura. I'm a first year architecture student and I'm also new to the student team. So I'm just happy to share my opinions on widening participation and just Library Peer Network.
Yeah. Okay, so a lot to unpack there. We've got a wide range of like experiences at the Uni of Manchester, like a master's student and a first year student. What has this year been like studying with COVID? For you, Salma, obviously you had last year as well. Maybe start there because I kind of went through the same thing of having to finish my year with COVID. What was that like for you and how did you kind of find it?
Honestly, it was just so strange and bizarre the whole time because
crazy, wasn't it? Crazy.
Yeah, like you were new in the beginning and you're just getting used to everything. And I felt like just as I was comfortable, right, COVID had come and struck. Yeah, so I just think that with COVID and being a student, you have to really prioritize things and put them into perspective and not feel as frustrated all the time.
Yeah, that's definitely, I can relate to that. What happened for me was because I was doing a master's, a history master's, and it was like the first like 6 months or whatever, the first 5 months, I was like on a roll, doing really well, and then COVID hit, and I was like, oh, like what am I gonna do? I kind of struggled to adapt at the start. I found it quite hard. So has it been the same for you, Nuura and Rachel, coming in knowing that COVID was going to kind of affect your learning?
Yeah. Since I haven't gone in even, I think I've only been in once, but this has been going on since my A level, so it's not like I'm used to it now. But it's frustrating because my course is very design based. We need to be in studio, we need to be inside the workshops, but instead we're working from home. and we don't have the correct equipment, so it's a really big struggle. But I mean, we're getting used to it.
Yeah, I guess it's that kind of thing you just need to get used to. It took me a while, honestly.
Yeah, I was going to say, just to add to Salma and Nuura, I think I definitely feel one of the luckier people, because obviously I've done my undergraduate, and that was much more of a practical degree, so that was out of the way. And obviously I was working last time for the university, and it was difficult because obviously we had to get used to things. But I think there's definitely, as mentioned before, I think there was definitely a bit of prep time for me, so I kind of got used to it. It wasn't easy. But I think, again, as Salma said about the sort of the perspective, I think that's something that I feel really happy to finally have, though, because as much as it's really important to focus on your studies, I feel like there's definitely more of a permission, and there should have been originally, obviously, but I think there's definitely more of a personal permission for you to get up and actually have breaks from studying, and to really look after yourself. So hopefully that's one of the positives that we go forward with. But yeah, it's definitely been one of those experiences that we're going to learn a lot from, I think. So
yeah.
Is there anything like, in terms of the social side of things as well, like being new to the uni, not necessarily knowing people before you get here, is that kind of how you've managed to kind of work your way through that side of it?
I was gonna say to Nuura that it's actually such a shame that you didn't get that much time on campus, because it's such a nice community, especially if you're international students. And I would say even if you're just a newbie, like in the area, you can go in and you'll find like all of these people who are really friendly and would love to talk to you. So it's it really is a shame, but there's always going to be, like, hopefully opportunities in the future.
Yeah, I mean, the most you can do is social media, but even that is not as personal as actually meeting people and actually being able to go out with people.
So have you met anyone on your, or like know anyone on your course?
I've only met one person, and the rest is just through the camera. So there's only so much you can even really do.
It's so different because lectures are like actual in life lectures are so different to online ones.
Yeah.
Definitely. And I think one positive that has, I mean, from my experience that's happened this year, I think a lot of societies through the union have been really good with engaging with people. So obviously you have to network with them in the first place, but at the same time, so for example, I've been lucky to be part of the pole dance and then burlesque fitness society for about 5 years now. But from seeing what they've done this year, they've done a really good job of sort of just engaging with students and sort of maintaining everyone's well-being. So that's been a nice thing. But yeah, like similar to both of you, like I think just the social media side, social media sort of chatting inside of it's been good, but it's been a bit difficult in comparison to actually going onto campus. So.
But yeah, that is a good avenue. Like the Students' Union, all of the societies are like still kind of having, still kind of going through their process of getting people in and socializing and that kind of thing, I guess.
Definitely. I think it's one of those things that, like, I suppose it's really difficult to engage with it at the moment because obviously we've just got so much of the stuff on top, but it's definitely a place that I've found a lot of help from, just generally socially, and even if you don't end up doing like sort of participating in activities, it's still another sort of area for talking to people, which is good.
There is the so there's obviously the Students' Union website, which people can go to, and all of the so they all have Facebook pages, don't they?
I think so,
they do. I think a lot of societies too, they're trying to do like online events, and they're trying to get creative with it. I think the International Society was one of them as well, like the ones I personally attended like in the beginning of the year when I was reminiscing about what socializing is.
I think when I got to my first year, because my first year was my master's year. So as soon as I got to the Uni of Manchester, I just went to the Freshers' Fair and like signed up to everything that I could.
I was just about to say that, like, I wonder if the same thing has happened where people sign up to like 7 societies and then realise it's probably a bit much, but
yeah,
like it's good to have a couple there. So
did you get the option to do that, Nuura, to sign up to societies?
I'm actually not sure. I think I maybe had the option to sign up online, but I don't think I went for any.
They don't really like promote it in the same way.
No, I don't really remember seeing anything. I guess they probably did, maybe through email or on the website, but I don't really remember.
Yeah, I think because in person it's a lot more obvious because everyone just kind of crams into the Students' Union building and everyone's just walking around and there's like
Oxford Road's just manic, isn't it?
yeah. So that's kind of how I think I kind of got dragged in.
Yeah, normally it's very obvious, like you're walking down the road and they've got Domino's and all the shops doing discounts as well.
Yeah. Maybe we need to do a better job of like guiding people towards like the societies that they can get involved with and where to kind of find or scout their interests.
That'd be a good idea. I like that.
Okay, so just working from home in general, have you had any like experiences, either positive or negative, that you've learned from or kind of like taught you how to work from home better? What have you learned in the last like year? Oh my God, it's been like nearly like 12 months.
Yeah, full year, almost a full year.
Crazy. What works well and what doesn't work well, have you found?
Okay, I'll go first and then I'll let everyone else go. But for me, like just literally just charging my laptop was an accomplishment because sometimes I would just forget overnight.
Yeah.
And then I'd miss like everything the next day. So just charging everything. I also have like a bunch of siblings, so it was kind of hectic at the start. Being able, because they're also going to like online events as well, so everyone just using the internet, just kind of balancing out that, and then going into like your own personal location. It was, even if it was just like the middle of the closet, I would just go in and close and have that secluded space. What do you guys think?
I think that was the same for me, to be honest. Because I can't revise if I'm in my room. I'll just like go to my bed and just do nothing for the whole day.
Yeah, you have to physically move around, you know.
Definitely. I think the thing for me is it's a bit weird. So for me, like the accessibility side of it for my mental health and my disability, it's been both positive and negative because I've not had to commute in and worry about sort of really crammed buses or trains in the same way. And it's been nice when obviously we could sort of go a bit more onto campus and just go for a wander. That was good. But and actually sort of I think being in my own home environment's been quite nice because I've actually been able to sleep better. I've not had to rush around. I've been able to cook much better for myself, and probably the best I've ever been able to myself, and that's been really helpful. But at the same time, it's that idea of, you know, if you're in a small flat, it's quite claustrophobic. It's difficult sort of staying in the same area and not going out for different walks across the country as much. And I think, again, one of the major issues I've had, but I've been able to put in boundaries in place for, is kind of the sensory overload from screens. Because it's not just, it not just tires me out, but it actually makes me quite panicky a lot. And kind of as a result, that's been really challenging. And obviously it's quite exhausting to explain that to everyone that might not have the same experience. But again, I think because everyone's experiencing something difficult with it, that's kind of been nice to at least talk about and sort of acknowledge with each other. And yeah, it's definitely been a mixed one, but I think it's one of those things that just learning to go forward with it's been working really well to have boundaries. So yeah,
I feel that. I normally just like, throw my phone underneath the bed. I'm like, okay, don't look at my phone for
That's a good idea.
focus. Because if I don't throw my phone on the bed, then I'm just like drawn to it whenever I'm like feeling bored.
It just stares at you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, early on, I could just go to the library and I'd book the library for like a good couple hours, get all my deadlines done. But even now, it's harder to, I think, book to go in. So it's especially harder to find a workspace at home that you're not going to be distracted in, but you're going to have enough space to actually work and get everything done.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Especially when a lot of people maybe come from households where it's more cramped and you're not going to have space to actually set out your work and have a quiet environment. It's really stressful.
Yeah, definitely stressful. I think one of the things that the uni does, they have like these revision sessions where you'd like join a Zoom session with other people who are studying, and even though like you're in or whatever, it's kind of like you get the mindset of you're studying with people.
Yeah, I've seen those on the I think the Manchester's library website.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something you'd ever do or find helpful?
I mean, I don't do any revision for my subject, so it's mostly I'm just literally on my floor cutting out pieces and stuff.
Okay, yeah.
But it would probably help with because sometimes me and my friends do group FaceTime when we're working.
Yeah.
Just so we can like have an environment where you have someone to tell you keep working instead of going on your phone or something.
Yeah. So how have you found architecture? We had last week, we had Jacob who studies physics, and we had Simone who studies cognitive neuroscience, and I couldn't even comprehend the level of intelligence that you must need to, but I feel like architecture is kind of like the same kind of thing. How have you found that?
I think architecture has a really, really high workload. Like I think I saw somewhere it was like 20 something personal study hours a week.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm even doing that, but it's like I think we have like assignments every week. So we have a deadline every week to get to. So it's got to a point now I have to properly schedule when am I going to do my work, because it's not something I can like cram into one night.
Yeah.
I can't really cram a drawing or cram a like a model, or it's just going to look bad. And the quality of work people produce is really high as well. So you need to make sure that you try match up.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say, is it almost like a sort of full-time working week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really stressful, especially if you're trying to like cram it all in one night. I'm never doing that again.
Yeah. Scheduling is definitely important.
Yeah.
Okay, so other than that, I think a lot because a lot of the things we've posted into the library peer network, kind of like networking things that students can get involved with, like different groups around the uni, because there's all like, even now still with COVID, there's still like loads of things going on around the uni, online and stuff. Do you think that would help with studies, or just like getting involved with things around the uni, or is it a lot to ask, like at a time like this?
I think just having maybe one, obviously I think there's, like we said before, there's, previously when we were actually in person at the uni, there was I think it was that pressure to join every single society or every single group that you wanted to or you were interested in, and I think that can be overwhelming, obviously. But I think even just joining one group or something other than your course, even if you don't even talk on the group chats, you just sort of there, and you check in on the odd occasion and read them. I think it's just nice to feel part of something. So, which I've found really helpful, just kind of keeps me quite sane in all of this.
Yeah. Well, you're all part of this, aren't you? So you're all studying.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
And now I've just started working for the student team. So how have you found that?
I'll go. I think for me, it's definitely been helpful because in a way, so during my whole undergrad, I was actually working part-time in retail. And that was quite difficult because I was obviously having to be very present and on my feet, and it wasn't sort of around the sort of uni groups. And actually this has been so far really, really good for me, because it's just been nice to still have that sort of, it's actually put a bit more structure into my week to sort of be able to get on with things and have to say, right, you've got this time working. So, I've it's not, the 8 hours isn't too much, but it's enough to be like, right, here's some structure. Here's some great people I'm going to speak to and work with today. And I think it's just really helped sort of engage a bit more with things again.
Yeah. Same as Rachel, I was also working retail early on the year. And it's so stressful where they will call you in anytime. You have to be around people, especially as well when it's COVID, but you have to be around people 24/7. And it's really hard when you're trying to balance your work. Like right now, I can do this and then straight away switch to doing my work right after. And it's so much more structured and so much more relaxing than having to go to the retail environment and have to interact all day and have to deal with very sometimes rude people.
Yeah.
I would definitely agree. I mean, I was lucky enough to do like a lot of volunteering last year, especially in the beginning. So I kind of miss those experiences, but now with part-time work, I find that just you don't have to commute anywhere, so you save some time. So it is pretty low key, and you can relax and structure your day. It's quite great, honestly, in that aspect.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll just wrap up by again saying thank you to all of you for coming along to speak about your experiences at the Uni of Manchester, and also that there's lots of kind of support or things out there for students that they can get involved with, or where they can find support for studying. Like I mentioned, the library drop-in sessions and the Students' Union, to any of the societies people can join.
I was going to say the Students' Union Instagram is really helpful, which I think is I think it's Manchester_SU, but they're really helpful with highlighting things as well.
Yeah. So when we post this tomorrow, probably I'll just include some links in the post along with it, for people to kind of find what they're looking for. But yeah, thank you to Nuura, Salma, and to Rachel for coming along and speaking about their experiences at the Uni of Manchester. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.